Is it live? I hope it's live. We'll find out very shortly. Oh, there we go. We're live. Okay, stream key worked. Thank God for that. Hello everyone. Bear with me. Oh my God, it's all going crazy. While we wait for the stream to kick off, I am just gonna put a post on my Instagram because that's what the generation does these days. So let me just copy this link. Hey Stony, hey Double Dip. Thank you for joining. As I just said, I'm just going to put out a post very selfishly on my own Instagram. On the Bonehead podcast channel. Okay. Going live. Okay, well, I started making this earlier, so going live now. Oh, wait, live now. Live now. Capital letters. Yeah, that looks good. Some exclamation marks in there because it's 2023. Your story posted. Right. Let's go. Let's actually turn on a camera, which is also this device because 2023. Hey, Chris Stevenson, great to see you. Double Dip, how's the painting commissions going, BT? It's going actually very well. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm amazingly great. I'm amazingly grateful for everyone who supported. It's better than I could have ever hoped for. And yeah, I mean, not many jobs you'd want to do all day and then do more later on stream. So it says a lot. Right, what am I looking for? OBS. Hairband around the lamp. There we go. Look at that. Straight in there. Let's go. Right. Now we fiddle with exposure like we did on the unboxing video, which if you haven't seen, there is a full unboxing video for this team up on the channel. Went out today. Thank you, Ben, for editing that. I think is in the chat now. And we are going to be painting one of the vampires from it. But first, we need to lower this so that it's visible. Lower, lower, lower. Focus. Okay. And zoom, because now we should zoom. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That looks good to me. That's locked in. Right, so we're going to put that there. Okay, who have we got? Lynx Lord 1991, Shoulder. Hello. Ads, great to see you. Hi, Ben, sad face. Oh, there we go. Sad, happy face. Tiff is in the chat. Hey, Tiff. Hey, Alexander Padberg. Great vid, dude. Average editing on my part. No, you did edit the time where I went for about 5 minutes to try and find a comparative model and came back with merely a werewolf. BT, that's a witch hunter, not a vampire, isn't it? Oh, did I say vampires? Yeah, it is the opposite of that. It is the vampire hunters. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Okay, looking forward to getting cracking on with this. Brute Fun's in chat. Hello, Brute Fun. Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry for the chaos. Busy day, and recovering from an illness, but I'm better now. I just needed to get all my ducks in a row. How's the Shed Studio, Ben? Yeah, Ben, how is the Shed Studio? I mean, I'm excited. Hideous pizza tray, which actually makes like for a kind of Nurgle-esque backdrop. This goes on. Airbrush compressor on. We're gonna go full kind of speed paint. I'm gonna be streaming for probably a couple of hours. If I can get this done, that'd be great. I did do a base, which I'm not sure if that's quite dry. Yeah, so it's not quite dry yet. I was gonna affix this to it and paint this too, but I'm just gonna wait for that. Do it separately. Ben stream painting up the Broody Vamps. Yeah, absolutely. Is the focus? Oh, the phone thing is autofocusing. Let's not have any of that. Normal. Let's focus about there. About there. About there. About there. There. No, okay. Let's go manual. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Okay, that's looking like there is probably best. That's out of focus. Yeah, looking there to do this on stream is not sensible, but hey, we're there. Yeah, that's pretty crisp. What we got? Who decided the painting scheme for the team and what's it going to be? I'm deciding as we go. But it's going to be blood red and brown and black because it's a witch hunter. I keep saying vampires. It's a witch hunter, and they have to be. Foundation complete, frame built, roof on. It's all about insulation, interior walls. That is the most exciting part. I think the main construction of it is, the means that is required to get to this point. So that's really good. Blood Bowl content is the best background over sculpting. Oh, what are you making, or is it a secret? It'll be alright on the night. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. Speaking of, let's get cracking. I should probably cover this all in brown, as that's going to be the main shadow color. So, what brown do we use? Can't go wrong with dried buck. Let's go with that. So it'll be mostly airbrushing, probably for all of this video. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Do I actually have any of this paint left? Okay, I do. I have some. Okay. What is everyone else working on tonight? If you are. I didn't refill my water. Okay. That's fine. Is it fine? It's currently covered in grit. I think it'll be fine. What's a little bit of grit can't hurt the airbrush, can it? Starting on a third vamp lady, you need 4 runners and 4 blitzers for the human proxy. I like that idea. Okay. Right, let's start airbrushing this. So I've sprayed it with a white grey primer. I've actually stopped using black primer for a couple of reasons. So one is I like having more control now over the shadow color. Black with the Zenithal, which is like always my go-to, was sometimes it can leave the shadows looking a little bit too dark and the color can't quite penetrate the black, so you kind of end up with stuff that I know it gets a bit out of control. The second reason is I ran out of black primer. Forge rolled. Oh no, what have we got? Sorry, got 3 out of 4 blitzes done. Oh, nice. Okay, that's sick. I've been painting an ogre team earlier, but stopped now. Well, crack them back open. Lynx is Forge rolled Yeti for his Norse. I need to practice painting the skin. I'm not good at it. Yeah, I mean, an ogre team is the best way to practice skin. Like, I had an ogre army for Age of Sigmar, or I have an ogre army, and painting them they're just all flesh. So like doing assorted skin tones was like it did an absolute wonder for like working out different skin tones. It is really, really good. Ogres are so good for that. Building Eucadians and Tempestus Scions for use in Stargrave. Stargrave, the sci-fi Frostgrave, I'm guessing. Actually, I feel like I know that name, but also don't know that name. Just chilling watching you. Oh, thank you. Otherwise, starting an ability team. There's never a wrong time to start an ability team. One of those times could be with the Witch Hunters here. The link is in the description. We're not paid by Punga. We just like them. The fun bit of an ogre team is practicing bruising. That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, I don't think I've ever painted bruising before. I absolutely will give that a try at some point. Not painting tonight, but I'm almost finished my giant for Blood Bowl / D&D. Love to see it. Ben, are we still doing that giant tournament at some point? Giants are mandatory. Caden Flesh 2 aggrox, yeah. I mean, it's not wrong. That is a not far off how I do skin too. So. Okay. I'm just covering all of this in brown. I want that brown to be the entire shadow color, and that's pretty much as dark as it's going to get. I'll probably paint black in some places, but for the most part, that's what I want. So, yeah. I'm going to leave that to dry. I need to empty the airbrush. What are you planning to do while the paint is drying? You need a second model to paint. Yeah, thankfully, it doesn't take that long, and I do need to replace my water. But it's also the good time to read chat, so that also helps. So I'm just cleaning. Right. And I'm wearing like white, which is a terrible idea when painting, but oh well. Dark skin tone time. The guy took a chocolate bar. I'm probably going to do a light skin tone, only because the rest of the model is going to be really dark, and I usually like to contrast the skin tone with the model. So usually if it's like, you know, wearing lots of dark, like a lighter skin tone is wearing lots of bright colors, the darker skin tone tends to work better. That's just personal preference. I like having the contrast. So this will be a light skin tone. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go empty this water, because this is just disgusting. It's full of, you can see all that grit that's from doing all these bases. I've been working on some of these bases for a commission. Greenskin Phil's Slan team, which I have here actually. So these are currently what I'm working on. Pretty frogs. They're basically done. He's got a tournament on the weekend, so I'm getting that out to him this week. So, but I shall be right back. When the brush the brush order becomes own wash, yeah, right. Amelia Fenn, you're very talented. Thank you, Millie. I'm assuming you're the same Amelia Fenn, I do know. Speaking of witch hunters, I also built the Hexbane hunters from Warhammer Underworld. Going to use them in Stargrave as well. Oh, awesome! Which are the Hexbane hunters? They are the they are the witch hunter team. Hold on, they're new, right? They had the dog. Did they have a dog? They had 2 dogs. Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember these. God, they're so rad. The coolest things in Warhammer. Chug, yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm scared about what Ben's gonna feed his kid. Okay, paint's basically dry. I mean, it's not, but it's fine. So now I'm gonna get the corn red. Start this red coat. I was actually tempted to not do a red coat, only because actually, let's see what the color this transfer is. I feel like these are red. I have. Oh no, it's black. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna put this on it. I think that looks so like Templary. I think these are all Nordic, but I really like this particular transfer, so I'm gonna stick that on it. So it's good that it's black, so actually, you can see it. Yeah, they are nice models, Double Dip. Yeah. I love all of the Underworld stuff. When they made it like Warcry compatible, my interest suddenly shot back right up because I like Underworld. It's not the kind of game I can personally get into because I can't really keep up with it. But I do like Warcry, and making them cross compatible is the best move they ever could have done. So big fan. Can we vote for colours? Oh, why would you do this? Yellow with spots. Okay, yeah, wherever this vote goes, I'll do it. Unless it's yellow with spots. Or pink. Or red. Now I can't see chat. Can I hide this? Oh, I can close the poll as well, apparently. Oh, is that just for me? Yeah, okay. Okay, it's just for me. At the rate some of this stuff develops, that might actually be true by the time. Hang on, which one was that? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Hey, Philby here. How's it going? Hey, Liam. It's going well, thanks. Just painting. Witch Hunter. Yeah, the Punga have also asked to say that there's 1 day left on the Kickstarter, so if you do want to check it out, you've got today and most of tomorrow. So. But also, if you wanted some cool vampire models, Brewfun's here in chat, and you can just, hit him up too. It's very dark. I'm very blown out. Hang on, did I go the wrong way? I went the wrong way. Monitor, come on. There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to make this coat really clean. So I've started to paint it a lot more clean now, going more commissiony because I like painting quick and dirty, but for other people it's not usually what I like to do. So yeah, I'm not worried about overspray because this stuff is all getting painted anyway. I just wanted the brown. Right, what have we got? Recovered from Alicante. Just about. I was ill the last couple of days. I don't know if it's related. I heard something went around at Alicante, but it took a while to kick in, so I'm not really convinced. And it's gone now, so. Yeah, but I mean, it was a lot. It was full on, and life's been very full on at the moment. I'm still in the process of working 2 jobs, which is quite draining. But it's the one I'm moving into is right now incredibly fun, and I love it. So I'm really not complaining. I'm gonna do this. No, I'm gonna do this metal. I'm just thinking what I want to be what. I think I will keep the brown on the cloths. These things will be brown. The pants will probably be brown. Boots black, hat black, or whatever the poll says. Yeah, yellow is spots. Okay, yeah. No, I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Sorry, democracy doesn't prevail. Yeah, and then metal. So yeah, I think that's probably it on the red. At least pledge at the $1 level, then you can still decide what you want once the pledge manager goes live. Yeah, exactly. I like to do that. Punga also updated their Buccaneers to the new roster. Oh, did they? That's cool. What did they change? Wait till Brute Fun is done with all the team. Yeah, exactly. Won't be long, right, Brute Fun? Is the red practice for a corn team? I don't need practice painting red anymore. It's on everything I do. But it is. Ben is alluding to the fact that I'm going to start taking corn to as many tournaments as I can physically go to. And the plan for the next World Cup is to have, 100 NAF games is the easy goal, and 100 NAF wins is the main goal. So I got myself just the standard GW corn team, Whoa, I forgot how zoomed in that was. And I've got all the trimmings, which I don't normally do, but I figured I'm going to play a lot. I may as well get the Bloodspawn, and the extra positionals. And the main reason for that is, one, there isn't a great Khorne team out there. There's Torchlight. I'm not a huge personal fan of Torchlight. Just them as sculptors I am, but the Khorne team I find is a little bit too goofy for my liking. But also my first tournament is in a few weeks at Warhammer World, and rules are rules. So Forge World Spawn, yeah, definitely. I was tempted to go for Scylla, but there's only so much one can spend at Forge World and be comfortable with it. So right, more brown. Wait, I need that red. Brown is next. I started with Dryad. So this is like the trio thing that I need to bear in mind. So yeah, way too similar. I'm just gonna mix in grey. What can go wrong? Mixing a bit of Celestra grey to the brown. Yeah, let's do that. Are they fun or good for a tourney? Fun, yes. Good. I think so. I think they did quite well at World Cup. They did well in the skill package. It really does depend on the skill package, because you struggle to get you struggle to get like rerolls and stuff in Khorne, so you kind of need to bear that in mind. And you always want to put your double on the Bloodspawn to get block, and then it's basically just as much block as you can get, while also accompanying for some guard, because you need some frenzy contingency. So it's an interesting one. I think they're pretty good. I think they snowball really hard in both directions. So if you start getting early removals, it's insanely good and quite easy to follow that up. But on the flip side, you're rolling twice as much dice as everyone else, and you know what dice can do. So yeah. There's also this Underworld Bloodspawn proxy guy from Drums Exalted. Okay. I'm going to check that out right now. Drums Exalted. Drums Exalted. I'm not getting anything here. Yeah, Alexander, if you can find an alternate link for that, that'd be great. Or just pop the name in the chat. Of everything for the Vamps to work with the new roster, just panning out the release now with more models to Proximus humans, so everything done for the first week of October. That's so exciting. And look, you got there before Halloween. Games Workshop coming into it. So, nice one. I don't mean that in regards to vampires. I'm talking about the last Halloween with Necromantic. Okay. Gore Chosen of Drum. Okay, I will look at that in a minute. Now, is this bright enough? I think it is. Still got a bit of a red hue because it's quite thin. But yeah, this worked for me. And then I can then highlight this with Pure Celestia, which is nice. Sent you a. Oh, hang on. There's been a lot of messages. Sound awesome, pretty fun. Yep. Hello, Ben. Hello, Stray Like Sailor. Oh, look at that. Ben's linked it. And sent you a screenshot of the updated Buccaneers by Punga. I'll check that out. But currently, my phone is on here as a camera, so I will. I'll look at that in a bit. They have that big bulky dude that I like to use for Bloodspawn since I don't like the 4-drop Bloodspawn. Yeah, I'm honestly I do quite like the 4-drop Bloodspawn. I can't remember if I was a bit of a fan. I don't think I was much of a fan of it at first, but I know it kind of grew on me. I find myself liking the Games Workshop aesthetic like more and more. I think there is just a nice straightforwardness to it that feels very Blood Bowl. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I don't know. It's like that combination of sort of silly and sporty and violent that is Blood Bowl. So it kind of captures that. Might just be saying words now, but it grew on me, and I figured I'll bite the bullet. Again, if there was a printed option that I really liked that I could take to Warhammer World, I would have done so, but I do quite like the Warhammer World tournaments, as janky as the rule sets can be. Torchlight Quantum links on my playlist. Ah, nice. Use an airbrush. Yes, yeah. For most of it, you'll find. I only tend to drop this when I have to. What PSI do you typically spray with? Having paint issues. This is a really awkward question to answer. So, right now it's on. I can't even see. It's on about 27 right now, and I just use standard Games Workshop paint and other like Vallejo paints mostly. Thin down with. I've got a little bit of water in here. Because at this point it's pure vibes. It took me a long time and getting very frustrated with trying to find the consistency. So a lot of people say like milky is what you want from your paint, and then around 25 to 30 psi. But I find it's more helpful to just correct. So for example, if the paint is, it might be able to show up. Let's grab something. What's this? Corn team instructions. Fine, we can use this. So right now my paint is like non-existently thin. But you can see that pattern there. That's a symptom of your paint being too thin or your pressure being too high, or both. So if your pressure is low and it's doing this, like splattering, your paint is too thin. Sorry, if your pressure is low and your paint is thin, it's doing this. If your pressure is high and your paint isn't thin, it's doing this. You need to thin your paint. Or if so, again, it's hard. I need to add some paint. Let's add some paint. We'll do a little bit of an airbrush thing. So this is air paint, yellow. Tends to be quite thin out the bat. I'm mixing it into with some water, so it's going to be really thin. You'll see what I mean. So that is thin, but it's actually coming out really well. So this is kind of what you want. And I tend to mix it up until it's doing that. So if I then whack up the pressure, this is really high pressure. It starts to run. That's what you don't want. So that's like a symptom of high pressure. If it's going really low, let's add a bit more paint. When it's low, it will speckle. Maybe yellow is like the worst color to choose for. It doesn't show up. Oh, it kind of does up top. Okay, you can kind of see it there. So if it's speckling and you get little dots, that's too low pressure. So then you want to increase pressure. And then if it starts to spiderweb, lower it again. If it starts to run like this, maybe thicken your paint, lower the pressure. It's all just like tweaking and manipulating. There's a really good video by Miniac, which pretty much helped me out. He has like a flow chart, explains it way better than I could. But generally, I aim for the consistency of this paint, so you'll see inside it. So in here, that kind of consistency where it's not like really thick paint, and when it goes on the side, it kind of is translucent. That's really good. Sometimes thicker paint can work though with a higher pressure. That's what I mean. Where I hate answering it because I don't think there is a right answer. I don't think you can say use this paint at this PSI because every paint is different and every job is different. I'm just gonna say like if you want control, if you want to cover a model, thick paint, high pressure. If you want to glaze over a model to tint it, thin paint, low pressure. That's probably the best, simplest explanation I could say. Anyway, sorry, I ran on for a very long time there. So, don't you have the Grebo Metal Corn team? Yeah, I do, but it's out of date now. So, I'm painting the 4-draw Bloodspawn for my 7th team. The helmet on his hip will be the colours of my half 7. Oh, that's so good. He's stolen their head. Well, you know that Ben from Dungeon Ball Games at Entoyment that time. Did I play Dungeon Ball at Entoyment? I think I gemmed that one, right? That reminds me, I need to make a few new posts on Insta. I'm a few models behind there now. I need a social media manager. I know that feeling. I hate using Instagram and any social media. It's the worst. I can see now why it's the job for a lot of people because it really is. And if you're in a budget, you just need a straw and your lungs, basically the same thing. What's that for? Miniac and Ninja on a great, yes, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just gonna finish my coffee and then we'll get cracking. So I've got kind of a grey brown now on the cloths, and I might do a bit of a spray with Celestra onto that, but then I'll highlight most of that. Oh, Bonehead Ben. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Straw plus lungs equals budget airbrush. Oh, yeah. Yeah, get the PSI right on your lungs. What do I want now? I want Mephiston Red. Where are you? Got it. What happened to that palette? This isn't a palette. This is my trusty airbrush pizza tray that I've had. It was a hot and spicy pizza from Sainsbury's. That went out of date somewhere around here. Yeah, there you go, 2019. And I've had this since, and it's done me well. It's very chunky with paint now, and sand and all sorts of garbage. But it protects my mat, kind of, obviously, not very well. I listened to one episode, yeah. Oh yeah, the drum. Okay, I was gonna see. It was drums. What was it? Drum. Gore chosen. Oh yeah, you're right. The Nether Maze stuff. Yeah, okay, that would have been a really good choice. Oh, that is a really good choice. I think I made a mistake. Oh well, it's fine. We're stuck with it now. It's shipped. First time I've caught this channel live. Hey, Builder Block. Yeah, we don't stream that often anymore, but maybe things will change now that I'm making this painting thing a bit more of a full-time thing. I'd like to make a change. Right now, committing to that is frightening because I don't have a lot of time, but I would like to. I feel really bad about that drum box. That's why you talk to people before you make stupid decisions. Right, we're going for, this is Mephiston red now. Pure red. Just to add some colour to this cloak. I'm just going to follow the folds. We're going to highlight this a few times, so we're going to go quite bright on this. I want it to stand out. And then we'll gloss varnish everything, stick a transfer on it, and then matte over that. So you can see I'm really like imprecise with a lot of this, but you can clean everything up. It really doesn't matter. See, that's actually a symptom there. Where that kind of blasted out, that means my pressure is probably too high. And right now, yeah, it's on 30. So we're going to turn that down a bit. You get a lot more control now. And sometimes, if you can turn it down low and you get speckling, that can be good. So I paint a lot of orc flesh on low PSI because the speckling adds like a sort of pore-like texture, which actually looks really cool. So all my orc skin is actually done, like the undercoat, the dark bit is done with a low PSI, and then you do the bright bit, kind of cover over it. The dark spots show through, and it looks cool. I don't have an example of that at the moment, but at some point I'll do that on the stream. I'm just going bright at the bottom. We'll do this bit here. Again, I'm not worried about going on the clothes because I'm going to do another highlight on that. No mistakes, only happy accidents. Exactly. What is your job? So before I was a software engineer, and now I paint at Bloodtithe.com, where I'm now moving to become a full-time commission painter. So if you're interested in themes, it's currently what I specialize in, but other things are available. There's one shield done for tonight. Transponster? Great, that's a word. Are you a micro soul transfer guy? Yes, absolutely. Micro set more than soul, but yeah. Okay, that's probably a good amount of red. I'm gonna do another highlight on that actually. I'm gonna do a Wild Rider red just on the edge, just to make it like really pop. And then I'll probably shadow in with the brown again, just to reinforce those shadows. Mottled skin texture for the win. Now if there was some team of mostly naked orcs with butts available for someone to practice on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, so we've got a wobble league starting tonight. I only didn't go as one, I wanted to do this, but also, like I said, I'm not very well. Don't want people to catch anything. But yeah, first game we've got Triple Powers versus OG Bonehead Snacksby. Wait, hang on. Trips is 1-0 down, but Scylla has killed his ogre in game 1 of the league. That's insane. That's why you don't get. Did he induce Scylla? I missed that. I was gonna say, is he that much TV down after the redraft? That's hilarious. Kill the ogre in game 1. That's expensive. So I'm nervous. So I'm running high elves in this league, and yeah, they're always a nervous one to run because game 1 can financially ruin you. If I was up against Scylla, for example. I did have the right color. Okay, just not that much different. Yeah, I will definitely be adding the brown back into the shadows. So it needs it. Yeah, wow. Scylla. When's the next Bonehead Championship? Ben, when is the next Bonehead Championship? I'm going to assume it's post-shed, as is everything, including your child. But yeah. The child build. Uh, yeah, so I actually got, so as I showed off before, so Greenskin Phil wanted these for his frog team. These are the Charlie Victor metal bases, and these are really cool. Never seen them before, personally. But yeah, they're so weighty. They got this awesome ring. Mold sculpting around it is a bit stressful, and painting it is even more stressful because I'm having to uh do a putty around the entire ring to preserve that border. Um, masking putty, and I'm really hoping it survives overnight without just like sinking and turning to goop because that's what this stuff does. But I think it should be okay. It's kind of sinking inside the little recess, so we're all good. But yeah, I mean, if you ever wondered what these are like, I can tell you that they're very premium. Everything feels like a coin. You're still gonna have the crowd. Did mine arrive? Yeah, we're definitely working on that. Ben's already answering that. Thank you, Ben. Ben's going to be in chat for a Q&A. I much appreciate that because I got a painting to do. I'm behind. I want like a burnt umber. Yeah, there we go. It's not the same brown, but it is a brown, and that'll do. It's not the same brown because I can't be bothered to mix it up again. No, it's too yellow. It's too yellow. Sorry, burnt umber. You're getting some black. This is what I mean by it's vibes based. I just tend to grab something, whatever's quickest, and mix it up. And that kind of looks like dried bark. Yeah, that's kind of close enough. And then again, you got this sort of consistency here where, you know, it's kind of translucent on the side, which is like great. So you can, yeah, you can airbrush thicker stuff. You can airbrush thinner stuff. You can airbrush anything. Just don't do oil paint, because your lungs won't like you. It's me just, yeah. And here, I just wanted to add more shadow in here. I didn't like how low contrast it was. generally the key word in painting is contrast. You want your shadows to be dark and your highlights to be bright. So I'm just improving that now. And it was already making the cloak pop, so I feel like I could spend more time on this because the cloak is such like a signature part of it. It's what you see as a player as well, so that's important. And this like whole like gap where it's like one color, another color, one color. That's fine. That's kind of what you want. I wouldn't worry too much about blends with an airbrush. That's easier said than done, but oh sorry, it's easy to say when you have an airbrush. But as long as your shadows are dark, your top bits are bright, all is good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Actually, underneath, it's just that's basically black there, so that's fine. Darken that. Darken that. All right, cloak done. Well, we need to transfer and highlights, but yep. I have to go bye. I'll see you later. Go for it, painting. Alright, what do we got? Fancy alternative to super glue and washers. Yep. Absolutely. They're nice. They're harder to work with because you can't just sort of, you know, what I had it earlier. Yeah, like you can't just go straight up to the edge and not really worry about neatness and just run your finger around the edge. But it's it is an option and they are nice. So here to give BB any ideas. The next Bonehead tournament, Ben could bring his own knobbler without the green face paint. I don't know what that meant. Absolute airbrush muggle question here. Do you need a mask when airbrushing inside? We will know about your resin curry safety aversions. Yeah. So the resin curry thing was just because I was holding my pot of resin water ready to rinse under the tap and mixing curry with the other hand, which probably isn't safe. But you know, need a mask when airbrushing inside. I think I would be obliged to say yes, judging by this cough. But I don't. Airbrush, acrylic paint isn't toxic. So I kind of think, it's fine. But you probably should. I've got windows open all the time, but yeah, like the paint goes and sticks on here. Like I airbrush down like this, so like anything that's coming out, it's hitting the table. It's not really evaporating. What does become a bit of an issue is varnish. Varnish does evaporate, and that gets a bit dicey. Yeah, so with varnish, I probably would recommend it. You'll see me do it here or where I won't, but I would recommend you do if you're concerned about your health more than I am. Right, I'm going to do a highlight of the grey. Yep. This is going to be pure Celestia. This is, you see kind of where I mix like a pure GW paint. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, exactly, Brufun. Yeah. So yeah, that's just gone in there. That's goopy and thick. So got the trusty little water dispenser. I put in like, I don't know, that much. Like not a lot. Get a wet brush, an old wet brush, mix it in, and you kind of got that translucent finish. That's what people say when they say milky, but I think that's really unhelpful because it doesn't verify like whole or skimmed milk. Yeah, so it's just sort of translucent, doesn't stick to the sides, and this will be good. And then here I kind of check, yeah, for pressure. So that's coming out really kind of like liquidy, so I tend to lower the pressure. So I don't really look at numbers. I've just got a dial. I've got my compressor down next to me, and I kind of just turn it left and right until it feels about right. So that there, I'm getting control without it spreading everywhere. So that's kind of what I want. Hazmat suit for Christmas. You still have your baby lungs though. It's fine. Those will fall out eventually. I wish that was true. I'm not doing a lot here. I'm just gonna do on the tallest points with the grey. And this is where I can kind of go over that red overspray that I did earlier. It kind of just helps hide it. A lot of painting fast is like just hiding stuff. Like not really worrying about correcting mistakes, just sort of get back to it when you can. Try and cover it, try and find an opportunity to cover over it. Because they're going to be made. Now is that, yeah, that's a thick glove, okay. Cool. So that's the clothing done as well. Right now I'm going to go with a brush. So I'm going to do this first. Because I want to gloss varnish everything. After I apply the transfer. Okay, so no, I can do the transfer now. Let's do that. Actually, I might give the coat. No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's do transfers. Transfers are a fun mix-up. Gonna move this. That goes behind me on the windowsill. Sun dries it, which obviously won't do right now. Get a brush, a knife. Okay, I've got. I'm just gonna dip this in my paint water because it's kind of red anyway. So if it stains it red, that's fine. Where are the stickers from? They're not stickers, they're transfers, but they're from, yeah, literally Veni Vidi Vici. I think I bought them from like Magister's Militarum in the UK. I think they're based in Salisbury. I just googled transfers. They're for Conquest, hence like I've got loads of these Nordic ones for my Nord's army. While that's setting, or while it's, you know, doing what transfer stuff do, I'm gonna use my micro set. And again, I'm just using the same brush I've been using for like mixing the airbrush because it's all red and red's fine. Because going on red, gonna paint it on. I will cover the whole cloak because it can leave a bit of a like a residue, which can give it a different color. And it's kind of it can kind of leave the behind this outline if you don't cover the whole surface. You don't really have to, but I didn't do it once and it kind of looked a bit bad, so I'm afraid. Love Magister Militum. Oh, okay, yeah, you know it. You're cool. Is this too big? Okay, it's gonna have to go lower. It's bigger than I thought it was. Heyo. Okay, that's going in there. Looks kind of far down. I don't. I wish it was a little bit smaller. Let's go up a bit. Because inside here, I kind of want to put the number. If it's too far down, then this could work. This could work. I was worried about the horizontal space, but because it's going in all the folds, it kind of works. It's going in there. Should probably do this on camera. It's going there. We'll micro sol this in a minute, and then it will kind of fold to it. Okay. And then we're going to get a number from just one of these transfer sheets I have. What's this one? Old World Alliance. That sounds pretty good to me. Let's do number 1. It'd probably be black, right? If it's got a black transfer, would white stand out more? No, let's do black. I kind of don't want it to look like standing out too much. Dinner time, happy painting, cheers folks. Cheers Brew Farm, thanks for joining in. It's always appreciated. It has caused -1 strength on a human lineman. Oh my god, he's ruining this team. Love the Ravens of Odin and Sleipnir on those transfers from Venny. Oh, I don't know what those are. I'm gonna guess these are the Ravens of Odin. What Sleipnir? Is that the horse? Yeah, like I was just I just bought them because I'm gonna put these in all the shields. So correct, nice. Okay. What is Sleipnir? What? Oh, it's the eight-legged horse. I didn't know that. That definitely only has four legs. Okay, I'm wondering how this looks. Okay, I think that actually looks kind of sick. I think that looks quite rad, actually. Now it's micro soul time. Is this the vinegar one? No. Oh god. Okay, that's the chemical one. The set is the vinegar one, which I'm pretty sure micro set is just white vinegar. So hey, if you have that in your house, you can save some money. And it basically makes it sticky, and this makes it fragile. This is how you get it to sink in the recesses without folding up. But it can be tricky to do without tearing it. So I'm just going to be a little bit careful here because here it's risen. So I'm kind of just dissolve, like on this corner it's risen. So I'm kind of just trying to dissolve it. It's getting underneath it as well. Okay, this is not going great. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, I think I need a cleaner brush. Because yeah, if you're too heavy-handed with this, it tears the transfer, which isn't good. Oh, the one's gone completely out. Okay, it's all right. I've been through worse. Okay, I've torn a bit of the red away. Not a problem. It's battle damage. It being stuck under there is a real nightmare. Get out. It's like the worst advert for Microsoft ever. Kind of long shot, but did you get a chance to take a look at the Neiman Chaos Chosen team or the Neiman Chaos Chosen team? Yes, and I nearly walked away with it. It's so good. Yeah, they actually gave uh, everyone who went got the Minotaur, which is actually really sick. And I think I could may as well unbox this because I think this needs a bit of time to sell. Actually, give me a second. I'll get it out. It's a really nice model, and the team is amazing. And I was just like, oh, I don't have a Chaos Chosen team, and I would have picked it up if I had room in my hand luggage. So. Okay, I'm doing this off camera for a bit because I need to concentrate on this. I've ruined this. Sorry, this can happen. There we go. This is supposed to be easier than this. These, I don't know if it's these decals, because I haven't used them before, but they're really resisting this microsol. Like using it on Games Workshop ones, like Blood Bowl ones, they just genuinely turn to like liquid. But this corner, man, it's putting up a fight. Think. Wish. Stab. I don't care if this rips now, I just want it to be flat. If it rips, I can paint it. Okay, I'm going to go in with a knife, and I'm going to tear it. No, flat, flat, flat. Be flat. Rip, 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 rip. There we go. Okay, what I've done is I've torn it. Oh no. Look at that. Okay. We reared here. The one is still on my thumb. This is a nightmare. Who said, whose idea was it to put a transfer on? Let's go the other side. Let's do this. Oh, it's like so floppy now because it's all more microsol. Okay. You're flat now. It's flat enough there. Goes over there. This, where I got torn, can go. Sit there. Okay, fine. God has given us another chance. Although it does need to slide over this way. Okay. Oh, it's so flimsy. It's so flimsy. It's like dealing with cellophane. It's like cling film now. We're going high. It's, to be fair, it's a very transfer unfriendly surface for something this big. Okay. Okay, no, I think we're good. I think we're good. We got the one still on my thumb. That's about all the time's gonna go. I'm not even painting the model. One. No. One. Nope. One. 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 Nope. Come on. Stick. Don't stick to the tweezers. One. One. Okay, sorry. I missed it. I'm wondering about the quality since the pledge manager of the chaos just went live and I might get the chosen team. Okay, right. Okay, let's chill for Nemen for a bit. If it rips, we can paint it. So yeah, this is the Minotaur from Nemen. So everyone who went to Alicante got one of these. Oh, there's a thing. What's that? Oh, it's got a little NAF shield. That's kind of cute. Yeah, it's really, really good. Casting's, well, the printing's clean. It is 3D printed. I believe. I mean, it's got like all the printing layer lines all over it. Very fine, like very fine, but visible. As you can see, like the kind of shine on it. But the color and finish feels resin cast, but I mean, it's got some pock marks as well. But I mean, it's honestly, oh man, is that a support as well? Yeah, it's got supports on like the fingers. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a single print. It's just the color of it is very like resin cast, and it has got this little cute. Look at this. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. Got a little NAF shield. Don't know where that goes. Like, on his ass. Sure. There you go. yeah, but no, it's really nice. It's a big fan. Has anyone in the chat played Saga? I haven't, no. I've heard of it though. Saxby failed, Trips Bloodspawn, and minus Hatch. I mean, that's probably fine. That looks rather good, doesn't it? Yeah, it is good. It's a good model. Wait, did the shield go in here? Yeah, it did. Is that the 4-drop Mino? No, this is the Nemen Miniatures Mino that was given out at the World Cup as a little tournament freebie. And this is what it looks like painted. So, yeah. Cool mini. It's from Nemen. So they made the Chaos Chosen team as the official World Cup team. And it's really nice. And I really wanted to pick it up. Right, back to this mess. Micro Soul, are you going to micro save my day? Oh, I've completely ruined the finish of this as well now because it's got like, it might be alright after the varnish actually, but it's kind of gone like what I mentioned before, when you paint around the edges without painting the whole thing, you kind of get this like residue. I think it's adhering properly now. It's bending properly. There's a little bit of lift there, but I think the varnish will sort that out. So just hammer it with the finger. Flat now, basically. So what this Micro Soul does is it makes it really like soft, and you don't get it. Well, it's supposed to avoid it from lifting up around curved edges, but it doesn't completely guarantee that. And these transfers seem to be really thick as well, which I think is making it a bit harder. The one is doing great. The one's on its best behavior, but the rest of it, not so much. Anyway, screw it. We're going to leave it. And we'll varnish it, and it will look fine. Okay. I'm in love with the Victrix Viking set. Might have to make a battle host. Oh yeah, for Saga. Yeah. I'm sold. We'll order the player Chaos Chosen team through Pledge Manager. Yeah, that's good. Let them know I sent you. Let's get some of them royalties. Minotaur brought back from Spain and no bullfighting jokes. Well, I think the whole theme of Valacanti was that. I mean, the logo was like bull, so it was, you know, it kind of has to be, doesn't it? Okay, it's proper painting time. I'm just going to start with all the black first. Just all like the leathers. Just using regular Vallejo model color black. And big brush. Ah, okay, that was the Micro Soul brush. That tasted horrible. Right. Focus is about there. So sorry, yellow with spots, but the hat is going to be black. This is a team I want to use, so I don't want to yellow spotted hats. I think there's a fold of the cloth underneath here, but I'm just going to go all up to it with black because, you know, it's a lot of time if I was too worried about that. Looks awfully like fire would have been easier than Micro Soul. Yeah, I think so. I think just not bothering would have been easier than Micro Soul. Like keeping just a cool red cloak. But hey, I wanted to try it. It should all look better once it's been gloss varnished and then matte varnished again. So yeah, and is anyone else watching painting anything else? Or working on anything else? Ben, have you done any painting yourself? Have you, or is it just all shed? Trips finished with a 2-0 loss. I mean, that's probably better than I thought the result would be. Like rookie corn versus, you know, veteran humans is always a bit of a rough match. Looks like he made him work for it though. Okay, got a bit of black on the cloth there. I will rinse that off. Trying to get my mate to play more miniature games. Saga would be good after watching the Viking TV series. Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea to try out lots of different ones. Like, you're always surprised. They're actually all very different, I think. It's nice that the wall isn't just Warhammer. The nonsense shield wall scene. I think I've seen the first season. Might have been in there. Forgot how hard it is to paint under a camera. It's like keeping it aligned and actually seeing what you're doing is this hard balance. I need one of those ones that actually, like, you know, is a good camera and looks over you. That would be the ideal. Like on 2 commissioned vampire teams, sick. Yeah, which ones? I'm not surprised Greenskin feels losing. He's playing goblins after playing Underworld for about, you know, a year. It's quite a different game. Myth Bowl Revenants. Ooh, I think we looked at those. The RNE Studio ones, right? Okay, I've done that. Right, ability, you've got ability to enjoy painting. Yeah, thanks, Ben. Thanks for stopping in chat and Q&A-ing. I really appreciate that. Take care and love to Tiff. probably going to do the pouches their own colour to make them pop. Like a light brown, a canvas kind of thing. But I'm going to do the belt black. Just feels right. Classic Punga belt with like a fat lip on either side. Might end up making this brown actually, but there's another little like belt here which I think I'll do brown. Make it, add a bit of different bit of color variation. Same with the strap here. I think I just want the main belt to be black. Because then you got this kind of like top, middle. Oh, sorry, I'm not on the camera. You got like a top, middle, bottom, which are words that I've just said that don't mean anything. But as with all art, if you say it with confidence, it's true. Not watched the latest video yet. What will the Winch Hunters be run as? So they've actually made them compatible with. The core team is a nobility team, and you can add extras to be a human team as well. So they basically, you can add on 2 more blitzers and 4 flagellants as catchers. So it's kind of like it's like a hybrid of human nobility. They should have a couple of dwarf models, but I don't think it's enough for OWA, and you don't get like the tree and stuff. And they've got halflings as well, which adds to the human team. So it's like you can pair it more as like a human team. But yeah, either one is fine. And it looks like they come with a big guy. They do come with a big guy. Yeah. I just don't. It feels off center. It feels it's very off center. That's terrible. Sorry, transfer. We're gonna have to move you again because I really hate how off center you ended up being. It's still soft, so it should be alright. I forgot you got all this room around the side. I hate that I'm going back to this. This is proper like this is ADHD like in action. You're missing this. Yeah, exactly. Slayer, Blitzer, and Dwarf Runner. So it's not ideal. Plus, he wants to run OWA, to be honest. Like they might end up expanding them because I think they're quite fond of this theme. If they expand anything, I kind of want them to expand the halflings. Hello, Frantic Unicorn. Yeah, at some point I just need to stop fiddling with this transfer and get it varnished. Just really want to fix it. Squash. Please flatten. Please flatten. Ugh, move the one again. Stop. Right, okay. I'm not going to touch that. Not going to touch that. Not going to touch that. It's going to stay where it is. Right where it is. Hands of a surgeon, BT. Oh, far from it. Jeez. Just had a coffee before this, so quite the opposite. Yeah, I was going to do a bit of the other cloth. I'm gonna get the brown. This is AK Burnt Umber, which is like my favorite ever brown. Thinner brush. Definitely a Slayer Blitz and Run available by now on the Punga Kickstarter. Is there? Take a look. Link is in the description. Oh yeah, I forgot. Can't view Kickstarters on my browser for some reason. It made doing that video very stressful. What Ben didn't tell you in the edit was it took 2 extra days to film because everything went wrong and I lost my cool and I had to take some time out. I don't do video recording because it's so stressful. Streaming is great. I love streaming because you kind of just run with it, but video recording and editing is just not my jam. You know, when you do some things and you're just like, no, that's not me. That's not for me. That's video editing and recording. Another thing was that where that came in was playing high elves at the World Cup. That's when I realised, no, I'm not one of these people. Okay, just doing all the straps with this. A bit there. And there's a tiny bit here. So doing all this before the gloss varnish because the gloss varnish will do 2 things. It will lock in the transfer, but more importantly, because I still do it even on non-transfer teams, it will protect it. So all these undercoats I do will be protected. I'm even going to do the metal and then do the metal like again. You'll kind of see what I do. Because these are game pieces, they get thrown around. So I just if anything gets chipped on the highlight layer, at least there's an undercoat which is not just grey. So it just shields it. They usually get twice varnished, sometimes triple varnished. Right now I want like a pale brown for the pouches. We're going to do a bit of Xandri mixed in. BT, you mentioned on a recent podcast the game you were playing with your friends. I think it was Moonstone or Gloomhaven or something like that. I've done both. We did Moonstone at the club. Gloomhaven, I haven't played in a while. There is a sequel, Frosthaven, which I was a playtester for as well, which I have played more recently, but haven't finished it. Brute Fun's back. I got here a little late and I was wondering how you prime this. I just prime this with grey auto primer. High coat grey. There you go. Buy this in bulk, super cheap. It's like £3 a can. And then I airbrushed it brown. Just covered it in brown. Dryad bark as like the base color. I used to, like I said earlier, I used to do zenithal priming and kind of stand by it, and now I'm less so. I like to have a bit more control. I think it's good for. Oh, not even paint on camera. I think it's good for blocking out colors, and of course, if you're doing speed paint stuff, it can be really useful because it means you don't have to paint a lot of stuff. You can just like contrast over it. But I know the method I kind of use for painting now is a lot more controlled. Whoa, snagged on the wire there. Right, I'm gonna move the camera over this way because it's more comfortable. Yeah, so now it's just the metal. Easy. Where is it? I really should organize my paints. Yeah, after this, it'll basically be like you could run this. Oh, hang on. Before I do the metal, I'm just gonna do the strap on the hat. This is gonna be the lighter brown because I want this to stand out like big time. Where does it run? Okay, it runs like right down to the base. Interesting. I think I'm actually going to use the sharp brush. It's raining outside and it's so peaceful. I usually paint with like music or a video on, but now I'm just listening to the rain and it's legit. Nothing beats like waking up at like 9 a.m. or earlier than that, like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. on like a weekend, sitting down with paints and there's a thunderstorm. And you just crack the window open, you listen, you get a coffee, and that's like actually my heaven. I don't think I'm ever happier than when there's a thunderstorm Saturday morning and I'm painting. Don't know if anyone else feels the same, but that's like the best. Yo, you just joined. How's the Punga team coming along? Well, this is less of a team now. I'm just doing the one model here. I was gonna do more, but timings with the Kickstarter release and the World Cup didn't give me a lot of time to sort it all out. And I've also been very busy with the new commission business, which is not a bad problem to have. So, but yeah, I've been quite busy. So I was gonna do the full Witch Hunter team, but alas, not right now. Maybe later. I will be doing a 24-hour stream at some point soon. Hopefully for the vampire release if the timings work out. If not, it'll probably be like this team or the Punga vampires. Okay. Yeah, as I said in chat, though, I am working on another Punga team at the moment for a customer for Greenskin Phil, who sadly just lost his game. The Punga frogs, which I think these turn out great. I'm so happy with these. They're going to be on bases like this, which will be painted to be like Aztec stone and like jungle, have lots of leaves and stuff on. So, yeah. Yeah, so these just need final gemstone highlight. Now gloss the eyes, and they're basically done. Anyway, speaking of basically done, let's get the metal on this done. What brushes are you using? Right now I'm using Rosemary & Co. Series 33. Size 2. I use a lot of these. I just did a bulk order. So, you know, I've got quite a few of them now. Well, that's not that one. But, yeah, I tend to get through one every few months. They last a long time, but that's like painting quite often. I always use size 2, and then I use a size 3.0 for like really fine detail stuff with a tiny little tip. For like anything that's not what I was just doing, where it's like a small bit around the edge, I will use like really cheap synthetic brushes. I buy these in bulk of like 50 to 100, sometimes 150 kind of boxes, and these do great. Like these are really fine tipped synthetics. They last about 7 seconds, but that's fine because when they break, they become wash brushes like this, and then when these break, they become oil brushes like this, and then when those break, they become basing material brushes, and then they get completely redundant, and then they get chucked away. So they go through life cycles. What do you think of the Grebo Vampire previews? I haven't seen them. Grebo Vampire. The Eclipse Council. Is that it? I have not seen these. I can't find them. Is it on their Facebook? Oh, it is. Okay. I like the Thrall. I'm not as big on the Vampire. Weirdly naked. The blood pipe thing is actually really kind of interesting. I don't know how that'll work out with model, like how they do that. Yeah, it's kind of sick. But yeah, again, Grebo's one where I love their sculpts. I just find that the styles aren't really for me, and painting them is really hard. that's another issue I have with them. Like I love them, I just find painting them is honestly really challenging. So. I feel better with my choice of brush. Yeah, you really can't go wrong. Like bang for buck, they're like, I mean, easily the best. There are Windsor and Newton, but for like, £6. I don't tend to use them for metals, but this is an older one, so this is kind of metals. Like if I don't have an old Rosemary and Co, if I'm doing a lot, I use the big brush anyway. But the fine detail stuff, it's when they start to lose their tip, they become fine detail metallic brushes. I never use the brand new ones for metals. It's not required, and it would just ruin them. Like you can keep up to date cleaning them, but you kind of don't have to if you don't use them for stuff like metallic paint. If I have ultra fine detail metallic work that I have to do, I might, but I clean it like straight away. There's like, can you help me out, guys? There's like this ruffle thing here, which I want to say is fabric, but it kind of sticks out the metal. I don't really know. I guess it can't be metal. It's got a fold, like under the neck, but I don't know why it would be like there. Like, because the coat definitely clips on behind. I think it might be the fabric underneath, but it's very odd. Yeah, I don't know if it will show up easier there. Yeah, that's a bit under the neck. going pure metal here because it's going to be rusty. So it'll have some visual interest to it. It's just I want the main focus to be like on the cloak, and it's going to be a dark model anyway, so I don't want too much on the shoulder pads. Keep it simple. They're witch hunters. They have simple armor. Nothing fancy. Very functional. For the bodyguards, I'll probably end up doing something a little bit more intricate, but yeah, for these, it's just metal. Aluminium ruffle. Oh, hey, Aiden. I just realised that's you. How are you doing? HD, one of the members of the team that took us to high places in Alicante. We're very grateful for. Don't worry, HD. Next time I'll win all my games. So. You and me both. Cue the Rocky montage. Absolutely. Got to earn our place now. We're playing with the big leagues. Do you put a wash on the metal? Yeah. So it's a recipe that good friend Warhammer taught us. He does lead belcher with agrax, which sounds really simple, but then you do like manual rust shading with scrag brown and then highlight scratchy with Stormhost silver, and it's like super simple but looks really really neat. And then after that you kind of go back in with agrax and you like deepen recesses like manually rather than doing like a wash, and yeah, it looks really sick. I'll hopefully have time to do it on here, but I'm not sure if I will have time tonight. I kind of want to finish this, but again, I'm not feeling too great, so I don't want it to be a too late stream. Just promise Punga. They'd see it. Right. I think that's all the metal. Just cover the edge here. Have to leave for the day. Great watching stream. Thank you, Alexander. Yeah, take care. Now the face. Right. Again, this is going to be really simple, just flesh tone, because these are just base coats that are there to take hits for the model. So if stuff gets chipped off, this is what will be underneath because of the gloss varnish. I'm not going to worry with the hair though. The hair will be fine because if that gets chipped, it will be like brown, which is fine. How's the scaling on these? These are really good. I haven't built all of them, but I did look at all of them and they seem fine. That we have an unboxing video on the channel which kind of shows them. But they are good. I mean, his GW Werewolf. So yeah, it lines up really well. So yeah, they all seem to be consistent. The ogre is big, like a good size, not too big, not too small. And all the thralls seem consistent. The only ones I do get worried about are the line of scrimmage ones, the ones that are like crouching. But then again, I'm never a huge fan of that pose anyway. So not a pose that I particularly like. Okay. Right, I'm gonna gloss varnish the hell out of this, so I can finally get rid of that transfer like shining. And then we put a bit of oil in. So gloss. Where's my gloss? Where's my gloss? Not what my wallet wanted to hear. Yeah, they are good though. They are nice. I think I had got a couple more. So yeah, like these are like, this is the thrower, the bodyguard. And they're good. Casting clean. Not as clean as your printing, I have to say, but nothing is. This is where things get a bit dicey. I mean, earlier we were talking about wearing a mask while airbrushing, but so generally not required, but when varnishing, kind of is. So yeah, don't do this. Varnish does need more pressure. There we go. So this will completely get rid of the metallic effect, but that's fine, because as we said, we're going to be doing a technique on it anyway, which brings back the shine. It leaves a protected undercoat. This is where it looks like a cheap board game miniature, which I absolutely love. Makes me smile. It's like when you go to like some old war game shop that's like been around since the 1850s. They have their little toy soldiers. They all look like this. All right, glossed. Do you like those crouching poses? Pretty fun. I feel like you add them as an obligation, but if you do genuinely like them, then I am sorry. And I just had a heart attack because a bit of paint flew across. There's a bit of dried paint from my pot. And the airbrush just blasted it across my desk, and I thought it was a bug. Brushes the first 2 vamp thralls under the rug. Yeah, I mean, look, I like that they're there. I think it adds variation. I like that I can stick them on the line of scrimmage and they'll die straight away. It's just not. I don't know. I like my players standing. It's my personal preference. I'll have them in the team. Like, I had them in my high elf team, but it was just not always my go-to. Except the tokens. You hate making tokens. Do you hate making tokens? I've grown to like painting them. I used to hate it, and this is fused. There we go. I used to hate painting them, but now it's kind of grown on me. perks being your own boss. Absolutely. Hear that. Hey BT, painting simultaneously with you from Belgium is amazingly motivating. Love this Crimson Cape and the Witch Hunter. Which color will you pick for the vampire's capes then? Yeah, I actually had that thought. Oh, hey, by the way, Max. So I actually had that thought because I'm going for like this red and black and that very vampire-y color scheme for the Witch Hunters. I was thinking of basically just diving into the Warhammer lore and looking at the different vampire counts and vampire houses, finding one that's like different enough. I think like a rich regal purple will always look good. Kind of a classic color for vampires, dark elves, that kind of thing. But yeah, red v purple is always nice. But also maybe like a midnight blue. I think that could look quite sick. So I really wanted these guys to have like a red and black. I just think it's so like witch huntery. I think it just screams witch hunter. The kind of like blood red. Also screams vampire, but you know, I prefer it here. Okay, now I'm doing oil. I'm just gonna make up a pin shade of pure black, I think. No, I'll do brown. I'll do brown with like a tiny bit of black. This is where I get a bottle cap. And one of the old brushes I talked about before. That's dried up. No, has it? Yeah, it's dried. You'll do. You're a bit blue, but that's fine. Lots of people like the tokens, which is why I begrudgingly make them out. Okay. I was literally in the middle of typing roll purple. Yeah. It's a good colour. Anything like regal and rich is good, I think, for vampires. Okay, my oil paint is a little bit dried up. Somehow. How is this not? I've never had this problem before. I think it's actually completely... Yeah. Sorry. It's completely dried up inside the tube. Scooping. Scoop. Alright. You free? You free? No. It's not free. I don't want to squeeze it because I know it'll just burst out as soon as it can. I don't understand where's it going. Brew fun. Thank you, man. That's really appreciated. Thank you for doing that while I fight through this. I can now buy a new burnt umber oil paint tube. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna have to just squeeze. Come on. Oh god, that's so stuck. That's okay. We have a tiny bit of paint. We only need a little bit anyway. I see Bonehead podcast live stream. I super chat as a tradition. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much, Brewfun. I'll buy the beers on your UK visit, which I hope is soon. Right. So, quite a thick oil wash. I don't want it to be like really runny because one, I've only got one model, but also this is for pin shading, which you really don't want it to be too thin. It doesn't need to be. That is actually quite thin. But I think that will work fine. Yep, all right, let's do that. Then I get a really old, what's the word? Real hairbrush. So this is another really old Rosemary & Co. And I'll wet that. Right. Then we get a little bit of the oil. We let it do its thing. This is where it will just slide into the recesses. I never painted the aluminium, but it's brown now, so that's fine. Actually, this brush might be even too thick. Into there, you know? An old Raphael? You're a bit too beat up. So I've got an actual brush graveyard here, which just try and find what's best. I might just use that original one. What do I just mix it with? What do I do with that brush? Oh. I don't know. I think it went back. We're going to use... No, that one's terrible. Is that it? No, you're brown too, but that's fine. Okay, and then we pin shade. Where it just runs into the recesses automatically. I'm not going to wash it. I don't want to ruin the effort I've done. Plus, this is honestly quicker, so you don't have to do any cleaning up with this. Sometimes beds, but you try and avoid that. I'll tell you what is bad, and that's painting this often. Your posture gets screwed. I'm really achy. Like I lean on this arm all the time, so I'm like leaning this direction. I always lean on it, and the elbow gets absolutely knackered. So I've been doing loads of painting lately, and it's just ruined my arm. Okay, that's fine. Might have to clean that one up. Does anyone else find that with like leaning and stuff? Like, does anyone like lean on an arm to paint? Because chop up the brush handles and whittle them down into pikes, put little heads on them, or make palisades. What? Like in terrain or just in real life for my enemies? Just outside my room. My lower back was wrecked by the time he flew it. Was it? What, after doing loads like 4 all dayers, all nighters, painting a team? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I need to get better at like going out for walks and stuff. I feel like, you know, painting for a couple of hours, go out on a run or something. But that is a lot of effort and I really can't be bothered. I mean, if you have tiny enemies, go for it. Declare war on the squirrels. Don't give England any ideas, mate. We will. All right, I'm gonna leave the face alone. That doesn't want to get oil pin washed. So yeah, really minor shading, but that's basically done. Do I have I do have the hairdryer in here. Is it bad form to run a hairdryer at 10 p.m? Probably. I'll close my window. Yeah, I mean that's fine. These are all getting agrex anyway. Just do a bit more of that. Probably go deeper on a couple of these. I'm gonna go over them. Yeah, here it's kind of breaking up a little bit, which is indication that it's a bit too thin. I think it'll be fine. With another layer. All right, that'll do. That's the elbow. Give it time. You'll build up a callus. Painter's elbow. We'll call it like hooker's knees. Jesus Christ. I quite like that. Depends how thin your walls are. Yeah. Well, fortunately, it's a detached house, so I think it's kind of a go nuts situation. So I'm just gonna close the window and then I'll head right. I'm in the state. Yeah, true. That would help. Ah, it's already plugged in. Okay, I'm gonna mute for this. Otherwise, the noise gate is going to actually cry. So, like, I think it's set up, but I'm not convinced. So, be right back. Yeah, that's getting a little bit fragile now, so we'll leave it there. Something to watch out for with resin is it gets bendy. Okay, it's firming up now, but yeah, I mean the oil is dry now, I think so. Matte varnish time. Moment of truth for the transfer as well. Will it look good? I think this is like my favorite step, is matte varnishing after the gloss varnish, because your model goes from looking absolute garbage with the gloss to pretty good with the matte. In fact, I'm going to satin this down because that is super. I forgot. Yeah, I normally add a bit of gloss in anyway, but I've got this satin stuff now, so yeah, bit too matte for me, dog. I'm being generous with it because we had bold base coats, so the fading that you sometimes can get with varnishing isn't too much of a problem. Because it's getting highlighted anyway, so I don't varnish the highlights. All right. Okay, it's the last time using the airbrush now, so I'm just going to clean it. It's just cleaner. I run it through, cover the end, let it bubble. Put it out, tip away. All right, clean. How's this looking? Actually, I think that satin has brought out too much. All right. Oh, and that transfer actually looks horrible. I hate it. I hate it. It's got an knobbly. Didn't fatten well at all. But it's okay. I think we can recover this. What I'm going to do first, flatten it down with the knife. There's a little bit that's risen up there. That's getting flattened. That's getting flattened. Kind of fix that. But it's kind of, I don't know if the camera really picks it up. It's kind of got this weird knobbly texture. So I'm going to stipple it with the highlight color, and I think it will kind of blend that in. So like the red will be like a stippled red, and then the black will be its own stipple. So I did, Hayden. You saw. I don't know if you were there earlier, if you were here earlier, but really fighting the microsol. I think it was the transfers I used were like really, really thick, and on that shape of coat, it just wasn't settling. Like I've never had that problem with like other company transfers, but it's the first time using these ones. And I mean, actually, I've used this company before and they've been fine, but specifically these transfers, I don't know why they might just be really chunky. Didn't react well at all to Microsoft. So yeah, they're here, but plus I had to move it around a lot. Yeah, but no, I think the stipple will actually come out fine. I just do need to. I am going to spray a tiny bit more matte through this. Just 'cause it's a little bit too glossy, just a little bit. There we go. I think that's perfect. There, there, there. Cool. Okay, I'm probably only going to paint for a little bit longer, so I'm going to try this coat thing now, and see how it turns out. So this is troubleshooting live. So I'm going to get a bit of the Evil Sons. Actually, I think I'm just going to go straight for Wild Rider because no, I've got some on my palette already. Look at that. Okay. And old brush. That'll do. Just a hideous one like that. I'm not going to use a dry thing. I want it to be kind of wet. I'm just going to have at it on the raised bits. Give it some texture, blend it in, see how it goes. I'm actually adding a bit of red in now. I think it was a little bit too orange there. I want it to be a bit more subtle. Okay, I'm not going to do that dark bit there. That needs to be a bit, I need to use a darker red for that. Stipple still needs to have the same gradient, so yeah, there we go. Same with inside these recesses. Looking sweet, BT. Excited to see him on the pitch soon. Yeah, I mean, if they survive your team, apparently, according to your results tonight. I have work in the early in the morning, so I'm going to jump off, catch you in a bit. Thanks for joining, Hayden. Really appreciate it. See you again soon for a long stream. Hopefully, that'll be good. Okay, I'm going to bring bring this orange just back up here. And here. And on here. That's added some honestly really nice texture to this, which is going to help this transfer blend in, which I'm now going to do a little bit more controlled. With a smaller brush. Where's that one I had earlier? This one. This is, I'm going to use a grey. Got a bit of white here on my palette that I'm just going to reuse. So right now, if anyone's wondering, we're just trying to fix this problem that I had with the transfer, where it didn't quite settle as nicely as I wanted it to. So we're kind of manually adding in some texture to kind of mask and blend in the bubbliness. Okay, I think that'll do. I still got, it hasn't, yeah, it's really not my favorite transfer. I'm not that pleased with it. I think it'll do. I might end up reapplying it like off stream when I come to do this team. It's just not blended in nearly as nicely as I hoped it would, and I kind of think it would have been better without. And maybe even having it further down would have looked better. Maybe just not having it. Yeah, I think that coat would look so sick, and I think it takes away from it. So I'm really happy with the coat otherwise. And yeah, then on from the front, I'm gonna leave the rear of it as well. I'm not gonna worry about that. But yeah, I think I'm turning in. Thanks, BT, and good luck with the transfer. We'll catch the rest of the stream tomorrow. Well, I think I'm gonna call it there anyway, Stony. So thank you for joining. And thanks everyone for checking in. Yeah, a bit of a shorter stream, but just wanted to get base coats at least on the Witch Hunter. It's a really cool team. As mentioned earlier, the link to the Kickstarter is in the description. The Kickstarter expires tomorrow, so if you did want to pick up this team or their vampire team, then do check that out. If you're watching this on the VOD later than the 20th of September, then you probably will have missed it, but it might come back. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. It's a really cool team, and hope to catch another stream soon, because this is really fun. So yeah, cheers tonight. Yeah, I've learned a lot. Thank you. Yeah, and cheers Max. Thanks Chris. Thanks Brute Fun. Thanks everyone. I will sign off.